Next up, we have Lieutenant Colonel retired Daniel L. Davis. Daniel fought in the Gulf War as well as in Afghanistan, has been awarded 2 Bronze Stars. He's now a senior fellow and military expert at Defense Priorities. Daniel, you're also host of the podcast, The Daniel Davis Deep Dive Show, correct, on YouTube. You are saying that Congress should end the funding for the war in Ukraine, and now it is your chance to tell us why.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be here and to talk to this august body that truly sets the standard for foreign policy in the United States and has for decades. It is a true privilege to be here. I have 20-something years of military experience, 4 combat deployments. I fought in a large tank battle in Desert Storm with the 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment. We also served time on the east-west border in Germany, where we had to patrol against the potential onslaught of the Soviet Union coming in. So I had to actually study the Soviet doctrine, their tanks, the way they fight, the way they do offense, the way they do defense, in terrain very similar to what's going on in Ukraine right now. I also was the 2nd in command of an armored cav squadron for the U.S. 1st Armored Division in the mid-2000s. And lastly, I also served in the Future Combat Systems, where we were trying to project the future armored warfare systems in the United States. Believe me when I tell you, there is no chance that Ukraine will ever succeed in its war against Russia. There is no path to military victory for Ukraine. Period. It doesn't matter if we give $60 billion. It doesn't matter if we give another $120 billion, $200 billion. It's not going to make any difference, because the fundamentals that go into build combat power at the national level are decisively and irrevocably on the Russian side. It doesn't matter whether the cause is right. It doesn't matter whether we're afraid of how things may look at the end or whether it may embolden Putin. Any of those things, those are all secondary to the core issue. You cannot buy your way into this situation where you can turn the tables, because you can't undo the fundamentals. The air power on the Russian side is overwhelmingly and irrevocably on the Russian side. Air defense, their military industrial capacity to be able to crank out large numbers of artillery ammunition, the weapons themselves, the drones, electronic warfare, and most importantly of all, the people. Russia has more people, and they will always have more people. They have more trained folks than the Ukraine side does. And you see already there's a big issue with whether Congress is even going to give this money, and I assure you that's not a temporary condition, and it's throughout the West. They will never be able to match what happens on the other side, and even if they could, the manpower, ultimately it's about men, not machines, not money. And right now, there is no path to turn it around, and I view it is unconscionable to continue hoping against hope that the Ukraine side can win if we just give a little bit more cash, because it won't work out that way. Thank you.